Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to give the ultimate solution for everybody who believes in man-made global warming. Now, I just did a video recently that got a lot of negativity because you didn't even watch my video. You saw the title, might have seen a few negative remarks, and what happened is I got a lot of trolls and a lot of shills that shown up and a lot of useful idiots because you don't realize how we're being played, and they're taking a problem and they're offering as a solution global taxes. That's not a solution. That doesn't solve the problem. But if you truly believe that global warming is man-made, then I have the ultimate solution for that problem. And the reason is because the ultimate solution for any problem that is 100% within our control is the ultimate solution for all of our problems that are 100% within our control. And carbon taxes doesn't flip the bill. That's not a solution. What is the solution? Well, I've told you this before in other videos. I did one video specifically on 2 energy mistakes and 2 plumbing problems. The 2 energy mistakes, the first one has to do with the food we eat, and the second one is using fossil fuels. So all you guys that think I'm against the environment, you're not listening to what I'm trying to say to you guys. We have to understand that there's a reason why we crap in our own backyard. There's a reason why we have a dark side to our behavior. There's a reason why we prey systematically upon our own species. The psychopaths are controlling everything. They gravitate to positions of power, and they're the ones that run these bad corporations that pollute the environment, don't give a shit. But they're all in cahoots, my friends. And the solution isn't carbon taxes, because all those just come back on us. We have to realize there's 2 main energy mistakes. And it's so simple. I go back to this over and over and over because the first energy mistake is the fall of mankind. That's why I say we always got to go back and address the fall of mankind. And when we do that, in most cases, all these other problems will go away and there won't be a factor. I also did a little video series just recently on the media. Now, the media is one of our subsequent needs that can also be used to control us. Just like government is a subsequent need that can be used to control us. Just like money is a subsequent need that can be used to control us. Just like education is a subsequent need that can be used to control us. All of our needs can be used to control us. All of our needs are in effect weapon systems. Our environment is one of our most important needs. So yes, we have to protect the environment. But taxing people for carbon is a joke. If you're going to look at the environment, don't focus on a nutrient that feeds plants, focus on the pollution. And then realize that's also a downstream problem. And the solution doesn't address why we're making the mistake. So we always got to go upstream to see what that original mistake is. Because when we make that first mistake, we lose one of our senses. It changes our mentality. And that's what allows us to pollute our own environment. So the ultimate solution for global warming, if it's man-made, is to get all of us to change our mentality. There's only one way to do that. We've got to correct the fall of mankind. That's the first energy mistake. But look what we're up against. Margaret Mead said it's easier to change a man's religion than his diet. Einstein supposedly said that it's easier to the nature of plutonium than the evil nature of man. I'm sure they're talking about the same thing here. But what we have to understand is valuable knowledge is being withheld from us, and we're being lied to all the time. And almost every type of grassroots movement that tries to do something for the betterment, whether it's the environment or feminism or equal rights, is always controlled by the small group of people who own everything. That's why you have to empty your cup when it comes to understanding how all this works together. And that if we don't go upstream, if we don't get reconnected, everything's a distraction. Global warming is a distraction, especially if we argue whether it's man-made or if it's by the sun. It's another distraction. Why? Because the ultimate solution has nothing to do with carbon taxes. That's another way to control us and keep us poor. The solution is always the same. Change our mentality. We've got the wrong mentality. Something's wrong with us as a species. We're disconnected. So when we look at education and money and media and government, even religion and spirituality, these are subsequent needs because we're sick and disconnected. The solution to deal with the money being used as absolute tool of control us, the solution to way the media, whether it's mainstream or alternative, the way it's being used to control us, the solution for the government, all of these is to realize their subsequent needs because we're sick and disconnected. What a lot of you guys aren't understanding with my message is that what I'm saying is if we go upstream, correct the big mistake that destroys the nutrient that feeds one of our senses, then we'll have 6 senses instead of 5. We'll have a different mentality. We won't crap in our backyard, and we won't be using fossil fuel for energy. We won't be using coal or oil or even solar or wind. That's a joke. We have the technology for free energy. Everyone should have free energy, but this is another way we're controlled. We live in a form of neo-feudalism, and I did a video on feudalism, and it all goes back to the raw food, cooked food perspective. If you don't understand the role raw food plays, you can't talk about global warming and not even know what you're talking about, because there's a reason why we pollute our environment. Whether or not CO2 is a factor or not is a moot point. Because if we didn't make the first mistake, we wouldn't be using fossil fuel or clay or anything else. We'd all have free energy. This place would be paradise. We wouldn't have a subsequent need for money. We wouldn't have this media that's used to control us. We wouldn't even need a government. In effect, we would have anarchy. But anarchy is like collectivism. It doesn't work in a sick world. But in a world that's reconnected, that's what we have. We understand that we're all one and that we want to cooperate. We want to compete with one another. This life is an illusion, my friends. We live on an abundant planet, and we don't understand that if we just learn to cooperate, there's so much abundance. If we had the right mentality, if we got reconnected, we'd realize there's only one way you can make your life better, and that's to make everything around you better. So now you know the more you give, the more you receive. Think what would happen if this whole planet did that. The ultimate solution for global warming is to get everyone to change their mentality so they want to give and give and give without wanting anything back. When we all do that, there's an abundance. Life is an illusion. That's why we have to be convinced that there's scarcity. That's the whole purpose of the carbon tax. You people can't connect any dots together. I'm trying to do that for you guys. But most of us are so full of crap and so deficient in biophotons, we're not thinking very clearly. So what's the solution? Especially if changing our diet's so hard to do, it's to take a solid food vacation. Do the first of my 3-step process. You can go down below and look at the description box where I did a seminar on how to do the first of a 3-step process that will solve global warming if it is within our control. And if the sun is the true factor, then we'll make the best with what we got, but at least we won't be in hell anymore. Right now, once again, life is an illusion. Most of us don't know what we're missing. So what we need is a brand new reference. What we have to do, once again, is go down below, watch the Deborah Duncan show, listen to the Dr. Roby interview, and then you can do the first of my 3-step process. And when you do, my friends, you're in for a treat.